Now, don't come after me because I know that there are real estate agents out there who are really good at cold calling. I know they see success. Coming from somebody who had a lot of call reluctance, who is very introverted and just second guesses herself a lot, that was not something that was gonna be an option for me. Like, if you told me the only way to grow my real estate business was to cold call, I would have quit. That is why I built my business on everything but cold calling and door knocking. And that's also why I'm so dedicated to helping real estate agents find other means to grow their business. That's why I do the Market Authority Academy. I think it's silly in 2023 to rest on the laurels of, oh, the only way to grow your real estate business is the tried and true cold calling, door knocking, and like sending flyers to neighbors. Some things just don't work the same way they used to. So I want to talk about how we can navigate these changes to continue to win more listings in this market without cold calling, without door knocking, without some of the stuff that just kind of gives you the ick. The first tip that I have for you is to structure your content marketing and prospecting in such a way that you are overcoming objections before you get them. Most real estate agents are already kind of prospecting and marketing to their database, through open houses, or through their social media marketing. And that is a really fruitful way to generate listings right now, even in the market that we're in. But you have to change the messaging behind what you've been marketing to overcome the objections that are on most sellers' minds. Let's think about what those objections likely are today. If you are trying to reach a homeowner, chances are they have a really low interest rate because they either bought sometime between 2020 and 2022, or they refinanced during that time when interest rates were like dirt low. We're gonna pretend like that made sense. While homeowners know they could probably sell for a pretty penny right now and still tap into a ton of equity on their home, their question is more along the lines of, why would we sell? Like, without a really pressing reason to sell, like a work relocation or family needs changing, it's going to be a battle to convince somebody to trade in their really low interest rate for what will be a higher interest rate should they need to purchase again using financing, which, let's face it, is going to be most homeowners today. This is why you might be marketing to generate listings and it's falling flat. You might be sharing tips on how to sell your home or what you need to know in this market to sell your home for top dollar, that kind of content. But that's not going to be addressing the needs of most homeowners at this moment. They are not asking how they need to sell in the best environment. They are asking whether or not they even should. If you can overcome those objections, you are much more likely to be generating leads that will lead to appointments and eventually listings. To do this, take a moment to identify your ideal client, right? And we talk about this a lot on this channel, but think about your ideal client who is currently a homeowner. Think about where they are in that cycle of homeownership. Are they like first-time home buyers that you helped a couple of years ago who are living in their first home and they have a low monthly mortgage payment because they have a low interest rate? Think about what kind of challenges would keep them from selling that home to upgrade into a new one. Those are the objections that you constantly need to be battling through in your content marketing strategy, in your newsletters to your database, in the way you are speaking to your friends and family and asking for referrals. That's the stuff that you need to be addressing. Now, the second thing that you really need to be doing during this market change, the market conditions that we're in, is honing in on your market knowledge. Regardless of where you are cultivating these conversations and relationships that can lead to leads, you have to be prepared for the questions that are inevitably gonna come up. And I'm talking about the question of, so how's the market? Right? A lot of times we have kind of just like a blanket response, but you really need to understand the market stats and the data that is going to matter the most. And here's why. The public is being inundated with clickbaity headlines, crazy news stories that have no basis in reality, and a lot of really provocative stuff that's on social media and YouTube that is really just designed to garner views and likes and not really designed to actually speak the truth. So for example, if you're like looking at the national news headlines, you would probably think that because of the current economic climate, the housing market is going to crash any minute and things are looking dire. But if you actually look at the data, at least here in my area, for example, we're actually still in kind of a seller's market. Sellers have the advantage. And yeah, while transaction volume is low, there are still a few players in the market who are really capitalizing on the current market conditions. Now, if you can figure out how to speak to that and share actual numbers and stats that combat the misinformation that's out there, you are going to be able to have actual conversations that have nothing to do with like lying and manipulating people, trying to convince them that they should list, even if they aren't sure whether or not now is truly the time for them to make that move. The real estate agents who are successful in an uncertain market like now are those who take the time to truly understand the needs and desires of their clients and help them make those decisions in a place of confidence and trust, not just trying to move them through like scripts that they find online. You do this by knowing the market inside and out. So for example, in Metro Phoenix, I have access to an amazing subscription for market data called the Cromford Report. I'm reading it every single day before I even talk to any clients because I am going to be prepared with the latest market news. You can access really great market data through your associations, through searching on realtor.com, or ask around in your brokerage for the next best thing. Make it a point every single day to study the actual market data, not just and not only rather the news headlines. You should know what news headlines are going out, but you should also know whether or not they are rooted in fact or just designed to be clickbait. By the way, these are all tips and strategies that we are baking into the bigger system behind a scalable, sustainable business model in the Market Authority Academy. And I am sharing all of these tips and strategies with you tomorrow in a live training that is available to all agents. And by tomorrow, I mean July 26th. All those details are in the show notes below. You can save your seat for this live training where I'm going to be walking you through the 3 systems you need to earn your next 6 figures and beyond in real estate. Now, finally, and this is something that we're going to be talking about tomorrow during that live training, we have to be ramping up your prospecting and marketing. Now, there are 2 different kinds of prospecting and marketing. There is the kind where you're like chasing and the kind where you are attracting. We can be doing both, but during this time, you will have to be a little bit more assertive in how you are setting appointments. For example, if you've just been kind of posting and ghosting on Instagram and not seeing a lot of traction from that, it's time to shake it up. This is when you really want to be revamping your farming routine, for example. I just put up 5 great tips for farming in a recent video that you can check out and implement in your own strategies. A lot of agents right now are looking at their prospecting activities as if they should be giving them right now business. And that's just not the market that we're in. In this market, it's going to take a little bit more coaxing, a little bit more education, a little bit more listening to our prospects to get them to a place to confidently walking through that sales process for you. Because of that, again, like the scripts, the cold calling, the door knocking, that kind of surface level stuff is really only going to get you so far. You need to be focusing on that second half of the sales process to really establishing that know, like, and trust factor and providing value that goes beyond just putting a sign in someone's yard, and instead helping to educate your prospects so that they can make a heck yes decision that feels good for them and is going to get you the listing. Now let's talk about how your business is doing. Is all of this landing really well? Does this feel really good? Or are we in need of a little bit more of an overhaul to your current business strategy? Like I mentioned, I have a live training to walk through the 3 systems that your business needs in real estate to get to your next 6 figures and beyond. So be sure to save your seat for that training below. All the details are in the caption of this video. And if you're watching this and you're late or you're not able to attend, you will get the replay. So just check out the details below to get access to that live training. Hope to see you live, and thank you so much as always for tuning in. Till next time, keep on crushing it.